All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 136 of the Geeks with Wise podcast. I'm your host tonight, Joe Barhoum, founder of this crazy website and team of awesome people. I'm joined right now by Kenny Newville, our editor-in-chief over all of geekswithwives.com. Kenny, tell the world hello.
Hello, world.
Very well done, Kenny. You take orders swellingly. I'd also like to introduce our guest for the evening, actor, video game actor, traditional movie actor, TV actor, Cass Anvar.
Yo, how you doing? Hello, world.
The world is very delighted to have you on the show
The
wearing a
world just
Wolverine
went.
t-shirt.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's one of my favorite characters and one of my favorite shirts.
Now, what are the chances you bump Hugh Jackman for an upcoming X-Men movie to play Wolverine?
I think it would be. You know what? If I could have Hugh Jackman's career right now, I would be one happy little geek gamer actor.
Yeah, the problem with that, Cass, is if you had his career, you wouldn't be on this show, which is definitely worth more than all the money he's made.
You're right. You are so right. There's nothing like Geeks with Wives to compare to millions of dollars.
Just remember,
And,
when you have that, just remember us.
Done.
yeah,
All
for
right.
sure.
You heard it here.
It's logged. Recorded. It's recorded on the hard drive.
Now, I hear you're actually a geek,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I've recently discovered that I am. I had no idea until people started asking me at these Comic Cons, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course I play games. And yeah, I got a lot of comic books, and I used to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm a huge fantasy and sci-fi fanatic. Super thrilled about the projects that I've been involved in, and future projects as well, which we can talk about later. And
Yeah,
so
we
yeah,
definitely will.
total geek. And you know what's cool is I think it's because I kind of subverted the word geek since it got me beat up when I was a kid. And when they're giving you wedgies in the playground and shoving snow in your face, you kind of try to block those memories. So I was always averse to acknowledging my nerd and geekness. And now it's like
We
like
rule the
flavor
world.
of the month, and we rule the world, man.
I mean,
Rock on!
it's,
High five! High five, brother!
I'm in.
all right. In case you're listening on Friday or any day after that, that was a virtual high five. So go ahead and high
Thank
five
you.
your earbuds or your car speakers or wherever you're listening.
Give it to me.
Or the car horn.
Car
Yeah,
horn.
fantastic.
Just
Yeah,
honk them
high
right.
five. Cause an accident. It's a good idea.
We take no responsibility for anything that may occur while you're driving. Speaking of disclaimers, Kenny's going to ask you a question later about disclaimers in Assassin's Creed.
Oh, okay.
Just a heads up.
Scary.
Just a heads up.
All right.
So folks listening, thanks for joining the show. What we're going to do this week is talk about the games that we're playing, and as you know, Cass just admitted he's a gamer, so he'll tell us about the games he's playing as well. And then we'll
Guilty.
transition into guilty, and then we'll transition into our topic of the week, which is Cass Anvar. So we'll talk about his career, his experience in Assassin's Creed Revelations, and future Assassin's Creed projects possibly, as well as some cons and other things that he circulates, and then we'll wrap it up with our final thoughts like we typically do. So without any further delay, last week I sabotaged the "What are we playing" segment because I had to talk about Amazing Spider-Man 2 on PC and how terrible it was. I'm doing it again this week.
Oh,
Did you play it, Cass?
I have not played that, no.
Yeah, you can read my review on geekswithwives.com.
Yeah.
Plug. But it lacked direction. It was pretty aimless.
Hmm.
It's the kind of game my 6-year-old nephew could play for hours and just
Oh, jeez.
repeatedly, right? And I imagine that's probably a difficult thing, right, to develop a game for all
Mindlessly
ages.
rewarding. Gotcha.
Exactly, nailed it. Yeah, very well said. But I'm going to hijack this segment once again.
DC Universe kind of had that going on.
So I'm glad you know your stuff. You played DC Universe. That's not a casual game, right? That's
No.
something that somebody who really plays games would try out. Did you play it on the PlayStation or did you play it on PC?
I'm on PlayStation.
Okay, so I also played it on
Yeah.
PlayStation. I played it on PS4.
I did Diablo, StarCraft, and some old school kind of PC games on PC. Diablo was probably the last one. Diablo 2. That's the last thing I played on PC, and then I matured and became an adult.
Shots fired, Joe.
Yeah, well, there is a link on my taskbar for Diablo 3. So
Uh-huh.
Cass, I have to thank you because I think you just dethrone me as Cameron Hinkle's favorite enemy. He usually likes it when I knock Nintendo, but I'm pretty sure that PC. He's a PC master gamer.
I still play Warcraft on PC, but my thing is I have a big beautiful TV screen and I like it and I want to play on, and I also like watching my Netflix on there, and it's like I'm pissed off right now that PS4 and Xbox One, the games are not backwards compatible, which blows my mind in the digital age that it's not feasible. But the problem I have is that if I want to watch all my games and not buy a whole bunch of new ones, I gotta have 4 consoles. And now you want me to have a PC as well, and then hook those cables. It's like, what am I going to be living in the living room with the space shuttle in front of me? Why can't we just have one console and a big, beautiful screen and play all our games?
Well, what are you talking about? Don't you have a device to call people, and a device to text people, and a device to check emails, and a device to browse the internet, right? That's how it works, right? You have to have like 15 pockets.
Exactly. Exactly. You're right. You got me on that one. I was not thinking logically. I have my pager, and then I have my texter, and then I have my landline and my cell phone, and then my email distributor.
This is a real problem, though. I mean, honestly, even though it may not be like we don't have water, it's an issue. I have too many devices. I travel with so many devices, and some of them
surrounded. We're getting all electromagnetified, and soon we're going to start glowing. Our DNA is going to mutate, and we're going to probably grow USB ports in our nipple region. I don't know.
Well, it's a conspiracy, right? The more machines that we have hooked up to the internet in our living room.
By the way, can I say nipple on your show?
You can. Yeah. Yes, nipple is acceptable.
Because I know you're in the Midwest, so I know things are a bit different in the Bible Belt.
Bible Belt.
And he opened a can of worms. Okay.
Speaking of which, I just came back from Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Tulsa Comic Expo, where I spent the last 4 days of the weekend and had a blast.
Did you see enough cowboy boots and belt buckles to last you for a while?
It was good. No, honestly, all I saw was cosplayers. All I saw was a whole bunch of really weird people with slightly bizarre accents wearing geeky clothes.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that. The Midwest can handle it.
Yep. They're awesome.
You hear that?
They're
hear
awesome.
That, Pax?
That's awesome. Were you there just to hang out and kind of be an observer, or were you part of the panel?
No, I was doing panel. I was signing autographs. I was there for Assassin's Creed, Halo, Call of Duty, all that good stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's way awesome.
I do that. I travel all over the world promoting doing Comic-Cons as a Comic-Con celeb and signing autographs for people as Altair. That's the main attraction. But I got a few people who like my badass character from Call of Duty, and definitely Lieutenant Dalton from Halo 4.
Right. Oh man, that's so cool. It's always a pleasure to have guests like you on the show. And the one thing we always ask every actor who's been on our show is, have you played the games that you've been in? And if so, how did you react to your lines?
I have not played Call of Duty. I played a little bit of Halo 4, but I couldn't. I'm just not good at the first-person shooters. It's not my bag. So I couldn't get to my role in Halo 4 because Lieutenant Dalton comes in the Spartan Ops section, and but I have played the entire Assassin's Creed series.
The whole series, even Assassin's Creed 4.
No. I didn't get the 4. I didn't get the 4. I participated in that because my best friend was playing and I watched it. Gorgeous gameplay, great visuals, fun being a pirate. Missing some Assassin's Creed.
Interesting. Missing some Altair.
Missing some Assassin's Creed story.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that all on Assassin's Creed. I love Ezio too. I mean, Ezio was an awesome playboy street brawler, hilarious character. I loved him. He was a badass.
Yeah.
And Altair was a legend. And their stories were awesome. I just loved them.
So we're jumping ahead a little bit, but I have to ask this question. To prepare for playing Altair in Revelations, did you go back and play the first Assassin's Creed?
I didn't have time, man. They do not give you any warning. There is no heads up in the video game world. It is catch the bullet and try not to swallow it. It's so fast, like you'll get an email saying you've got an audition tomorrow for a video game. The video game will be called the Sahara Expedition, and you'll go in and audition for the role of Hakim, and they'll call you the next day and say, okay, you've just booked Altair on Assassin's Creed. You're in tomorrow. So they put a
Nice.
code word on the game name. They lie about the name of your character. They give you false sides. That the sides are script pages to do for the audition, nothing to do with the game. And then they tell you what you're doing basically the day before you go in. So I did all my research at home. I hadn't played Assassin's Creed. I played Prince of Persia. I played a bunch of stuff. I hadn't played Assassin's Creed, so I looked it up and I was kind of like, holy crap, this is a big game. This is really popular. That's a cool character, man, oh man. And then I get in there and they basically just downloaded all this information half an hour before I start performing.
So is that how all the games that you've worked on have been, or maybe even let's open that question up. Is that how most of your roles that you've auditioned for have
Roles, no, that's not how film and television works at all.
been? Okay.
Video games, and I can honestly say I don't know why they do this. Yes, there's tons of money in video games. Actually, video games, you heard it here first. Video games will eclipse the film industry in the next 5 years. The amount of money, Grand Theft Auto, how much money did that make in the first 3 days?
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
$2 billion in 3 days. Let's take Jaws, Star Wars, Titanic, Avatar, Alien, Matrix. Over the past 30 years, they didn't make $2 billion all added up in 3 days. Maybe altogether they've made a few $billion over 30 years. One game, 3 days, $2 billion. God knows how much it's made now.
Right.
So, and then you look at Call of Duty, which to their name now, they've got about $4 to $5 billion to the Call of Duty franchise. Assassin's Creed is close to $1 billion, if not over that by now. That's not normal. That's an unusual amount of money for video games to be making. So films are not used to that. So in 5 or 6 years, man, games are going to dominate and rule the planet.
So in traditional movies, the actors sort of take on the face. They're the attraction in many cases, directors to some extent for certain directors, and that's what attracts people to those films primarily. With video games, there's some developers, there's some key people who have a name to them, like a Mark Cerny, or that one dude that made the BioShock thing that everybody seems to love. But where does Cass Anvar fit into the video game world from that perspective?
In terms of development?
Not development, but rather, if Cass Anvar is going to be the voice of the main character in this game, will that attract people to the game?
I think this is the tricky part about video games. It's changing, but the thing about video game actors and video game talent is, for the most part, unless you're a celebrity superstar before you go into it, like let's say a Mark Hamill or a Michael Ironside who did Splinter Cell, your visual appearance is not a game seller. So then they end up developing the character to look as cool as possible for the game, like the perfect look for the game. So you become a voice of a character that doesn't really resemble you. So that means that once the game becomes huge, you are not a recognizable commodity visually, which is completely different than if you do Lost or Walking Dead or whatever. All of a sudden, like, your face becomes $1 million commodity. So that's the challenge for talent in video games. That's changing now, because now they're doing full body, full motion capture, full facial scanning, and they're taking actors and they're actually recreating them on screen. Like, for example, again, it's not a great example because these guys are already stars, but Willem Dafoe and Ellen Page in Beyond Two Souls.
See, most recently, I found it very interesting when Sledgehammer Games announced Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and lo and
Hmm.
behold, who is in the trailer? Probably one of the hottest men, certainly on Netflix right now, Kevin Spacey. And
Oh, that's right. He's in Call of Duty. I heard
and,
about that.
and I'm going to tell you right now, I have not played a Call of Duty game for a little while now, but I am very interested to see what Kevin Spacey. Oh, let's face it,
I'm
Frank Underwood.
surprised. What's Kevin Spacey's deal? What's his deal?
Well, that's the thing is there's a lot of people that are calling his character, at least from the trailer. Of course, we don't know. We don't know. We
Hmm.
just saw like what a
Is he
3-minute
playing
trailer. Or whatever.
himself? Isn't he playing himself from House of Cards or something?
He is basically playing Frank Underwood with the loss of the accent. It seems, at least with his delivery and his speech, just
Uh,
without the accent.
See, this is. I have to say, I'm kind of happy. Like, I'm thinking that developers now are kind of cluing into the fact that this is entertainment. Video games are entertainment. I think until the last 2 years, developers were thinking that video games were technology, and they 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 made the stars themselves. If you look at Comic Cons over the past 5 to 10 years, actors have only been really asked to go to Comic Cons and sit on panels and use their names to promote the game. Really, the first time it happened, was Far Cry. You know that
Hmm.
crazy the Mohawk guy.
Yeah.
That's the first example of the celebrity, the actor, the character dominating the promotion. That guy did such an incredible performance. I think he won Best Performance of the Year at some video game award thing.
That was
Um,
incredible.
it was an incredible performance. He played a sociopathic, schizophrenic maniac, and he was in your face and in your ears for most of the game. And he did a great job, and he did such a great job. The characters, the players started to fall in love with him, not just the game, but him. And Ubisoft was smart enough that they said, you know what, we can make money off this. Let's bring him in. Let's promote him. Let's do mid carpets with him. What they didn't realize is that now they're, because it actually looked like him. The character actually looks like him. They didn't realize they were opening Pandora's box, and he took over. He dominated the red carpets. He dominated the press interviews. The fans fell in love with him. Everyone was, and he was, because he's an actor. He's entertaining. It's his job. That's what they do. It's way more interesting than talking to the guy sitting behind the desk writing code or the person who writes the script. Those are interesting too. But let's be honest, if you're going to go to a con and see people for a 15-minute or 1 hour panel, most fans are going to want to talk to the characters that they've been playing for the past 250 hours rather than the person that has written it all or directed it. No disrespect to them because they're phenomenally important. But from an entertainment perspective, the actors only just started coming out of the woodwork now. So I think that's where Kevin Spacey has been brought into the thing, because developers are realizing this is a whole part of the gaming world that we have not really explored yet. Like exploiting the characters.
Well, I'm kind of glad to see that crossover, to see Hollywood and television come into video games, but I'm also very excited to see people who've traditionally done voice acting and now they're doing mocap and they're doing all this other stuff, that are making their way into the average person's mind. For example, just two examples: Troy Baker, Nolan North. A buddy of mine the other day, we were at a chamber event. We were talking. He said, "Oh, the new Uncharted game. I'm not going to get that because I heard Nolan North quit." And
Oh yeah.
this guy doesn't know anything about video games. And I said, I said, "Excuse me?" And he said, "Yeah, I heard Nolan North quit." And I was like, "Well, I haven't heard Nolan North quit, but how did you know Nolan North?
Was he even in it?
You know?"
Yeah.
But anyways, it's impressive to me that it is blurring. The line is blurring. And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. Is that games are becoming viewed as entertainment, and I'm glad for that as
Exactly.
my pastime, as my hobby.
Yeah. And that's why you and me and our illustrious friends on the show are now considered normal rather than kind of basement-dwelling, Mountain Dew-sucking creatures that live in the dark of the glow of our TV tubes and computer screens.
I must admit, I am recording in my basement. However, I do own this basement, and that is only to not awake my wife and sleeping daughter. So
you really are
not
Geeks
to
with Wives.
not
You
not to
really are.
validate my success as a man in
This
society.
this geek owns his basement, ladies and gentlemen.
This is my basement. Behold. All right.
So let's actually take a step back real quick because I'm curious what games you're playing now.
All right, let's take a walk.
This is the first time in Geeks with Wives history, more than 3 years of podcasts. This is the first time somebody's walked us around their house with an iPad.
All right, here we go. Here's that big TV I was talking to you about.
Oh, I'm so ready.
Confirmed. He really is a gamer.
Okay, and then here we have. I know it's a bit messy. I got a bunch of junk here. I think that's my my consoles down there. I'm getting a little bit. You see, that's an Xbox and a PlayStation down there.
Nice.
Okay, and then here's my little shelf of games. Oh, that's someone enjoying a video. Okay, so I've got. Okay, I'm not playing this. I just have this. This is an oldie. Here we go.
Oldie but a goodie.
Lord of the Rings on the original Xbox. Okay.
Quality.
Let's see what else we got here. Ooh, this is a fave. I love this. Fable.
Yes. The
Good
original
one.
Fable. Very good.
Little Zelda kind of throwback there. Justice League, I have not started this. I'm not sure if this is. Oops, I'm blocking the camera. Sorry about that. Not sure if this is going to be any good. This is the Justice League thing. I don't know why I bought this. Avatar. These are really weird. Here, Anvar. Okay, I don't know what that is. I think these are my first Xboxes. There's Aragon. I just got it because it had dragon in it. It's like a dragon thing. And Halo 2. This is the first game I ever got.
Nice.
That's a game that I got with. I think, but those are like my old games. Where are the new ones? Somewhere around here I've got. Oh yeah, here's my whole Assassin's Creed trilogy. There's Revelations.
That's your game.
Great game. And I think you guys will probably like this because I think everyone loves this. I got the special edition Batman Arkham.
Yeah, absolutely.
Arkham
From
Asylum.
GameStop.
Awesome. It is, yeah. And what else we got here? Lots of Walking Deads. And Skyrim around here somewhere. Can't find it though.
Skyrim has to be around there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm playing
just how it
Skyrim.
is.
I'm currently playing Skyrim, so it's probably inside my PlayStation right now.
Everyone is currently playing Skyrim.
Yeah, it's a great
Is it just me, or in the kind of user agreement, does it say you agree that we will suck your soul?
I haven't had time to read it. I've been getting my soul sucked out by Skyrim.
Because I'm pretty sure that somewhere in there you are giving away your soul because it does suck your soul, and you lose your life basically. So there you go. You got the walk around.
That was quite a tour.
Yeah, that was legit. I didn't see any Nintendo titles, but you did reference Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda's awesome.
Okay.
I'm a big RPG guy, man. You give me RPG and I'm happy.
How about Bound by Flame? Have you tried that?
I have not.
All right, came out last week.
The Last of Us. The Last of Us. Best bleeping game ever.
Ever.
Can you say mix Assassin's Creed stealth missions with Call of Duty kind of first-person kind of shooter stuff with epic, incredible Walking Dead style storytelling?
Yeah, and fantastic acting.
Amazing acting.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
I was
what
in
made
tears,
it
man.
Yeah, the first
I
10
was,
minutes of
choked
that
up.
game.
I was
How did you
choked up.
react? First
wanna
10
know-
minutes, Cass. How did you react? First 10 minutes of the game.
I was like, what? I was like, how? Okay. I'm like, is that still a cutscene or is that the gameplay? And
It's incredible.
I'd be like, oh shit, that's gameplay. Holy smokes!
I
I didn't
like how
even.
you question, can I say nipple, but then you throw out shit like it's no big deal.
Oh, sorry, man.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. It's okay.
I think there was a holy that prefaced that though, so it kind of like counteracted it, negated it.
There you go.
Because you are in the Midwest, and I did say holy, so it's okay.
That's just Kenny. I'm in Portland, where you can say anything, even in business meetings.
Here in Portland.
Yeah.
Well, screw that then, man.
Now,
I'm
you've
gonna
been in
start
Portland, right?
swearing.
You were in Leverage, weren't you?
I was. Yeah, I came to Portland. I love Portland, and I also came for I did another show in Portland. I did 2 things in Portland. What else you got there?
Let's see. We have Leverage and Portlandia, of course. There's another show, Grimm.
Yeah, I want to be on Grimm, but I didn't get that.
Let me see what I can do for you.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, filming around here. I just walk over. And
You get me on Grimm, and
As they tackle him on set, he'll put in a good word for you.
I will sign all your games.
I'm down. All right, I'm gonna figure it out. This is what I do. I'm a salesman. I sell. I will make this happen. I don't know why else you would like. For what other? I'm looking at your background here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what other shows would brought you to Portland because we don't have a lot. We haven't had a lot over the years.
Oh, I came for Comic-Con. That's what it was. There was a new Comic-Con, Wonder Northwest or something.
Oh, I haven't even heard of it.
Yeah.
That's
do you
bad
know?
for me.
Do you know a guy named Sporkbot?
No. Is that his given name?
That's his goon. No. yeah. I got the Sporkbot. No, I don't think that was his given name. It's MacGyver. Manny MacGyver.
Manny MacGyver. I don't, but I'm gonna look him up on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Manny MacGyver.
Just look up Sporkbot. You'll see he's huge Assassin's Creed. You know how I met this guy?
Huh.
He cyberstalked me, or I cyberstalked him. I can't remember. There was a time where I was kind of looking for anyone talking about Altair just because I was really bored, and this guy was pretending to be Altair and talking like Altair, and he had a Twitter account that was Altair Ibn Lahad, and I kind of found it fascinating because he was talking in the voice of Altair, written the way Altair would talk, so profoundly and so eloquently, and then I just wanted to kind of like screw him up, and I said, I tend to agree with what you're saying, and I should know. I am Altair, and it freaked him out. We got into this huge philosophical debate as to who the real voice of Altair was, and he tried to beat me. And then eventually, while I'm talking to him, I get a tweet from this other guy named Spork saying, "Hey man, get off my site! You're ruining my thing." And he was tweeting me from his other account. And then I made friends with him, and he's awesome. He's super smart guy, huge cosplayer. And then he took over this Wonder Northwest Con and then brought me in, and I was there as a signing celeb for his thing, and it was great.
That's cool. I have to look into that. Kenny, remind me that I have to look into that. We have a lot of cosplayers that circulate through Geeks with Wives community, and we feature 2 of them every month on our site. Really nice galleries. Yeah, you should check it out. We haven't had Sporkbots. I'm gonna have to look him up and see what he's done.
I wonder if I know any of the ones that you've put up there.
Yeah, you very well may. I can bring up a list while we talk here. I'll bring up a list, but yeah. But while I'm looking this up, because it's going to take a couple of minutes to bring up the list, Kenny, tell us about what you're playing on your phablet.
Well, phablet, yes, that is correct. I forsook Apple, and after many years of carrying around an iPhone of some variety or another, I decided to switch on over to Android. I picked up a Samsung Galaxy Note 3. Had about a little over a week now, and I absolutely am loving it so far. One of the things that I'm absolutely loving about it is the fact that I am able to play Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition on this massive screen. So
what's a Enhanced Edition?
So the Enhanced Edition, basically, if you played Baldur's Gate Vanilla back in the day, you could go online today and you could download a bunch of modifications, and it would basically improve the game. So some of them would improve the UI, make it a little less cumbersome. Some of it would increase resolution, make sure it fits modern screens. Various fixes like that. Some add quests. Some add characters. And so basically a group, I believe it was Beamdog is their name. I can't be. I can't confirm that right now, but anyways, they created basically a list, a compilation rather, of the best mods, and released the enhanced edition for PC. They also released it for Android devices and most recently, and they also released it for iPads in the iTunes Store. And I was looking online, I saw a lot of people were playing it on their Android tablets. Baldur's Gate, of course, is one of the probably the granddaddies of all Western RPGs, in the sense that it was the first game to utilize Dungeons and Dragons rule set quite well, actually. Everything is controlled by virtual die rolls, and your equipment. If you've played Dungeons and Dragons, you're right at home. You'll understand completely. The lower the number, the better the armor. That type of thing. And for that, a lot of people might not be interested in it today. It's a little bit harder. It doesn't hold your hand. If you play on D&D rule set, area effect spells will kill your party members. There's no auto level, so if you walk into the wrong part of the game, you're toast. And so, I like that aspect, though. It actually allows you. It just kind of hoops you out into this open world, and you just make your own way. It's a great game. I spent 2 summers of my youth existence playing this game, and so I'm really happy to say that it works very well on the Android devices, at least on the Note 3, which I was concerned with because I saw a lot of people running it on their tablets, but nobody was really commenting on how it would run on a smaller screen. One of the nice features of the Note 3, though, is that it does provide you with a stylus, which I'm trying to get in the camera.
Good
here.
God,
watching.
I haven't seen one of those in a while.
Yeah, and among other things, they included it specifically to play Baldur's Gate, right? And not really. So, but that obviously is a boon for people with fat fingers. One of the nice things is with the stylus, you can hover it over the screen. It'll actually give you a little on-screen notification of where your stylus is going to tap when you do tap. So you can, it's really easy. It sounds like it's tedious, but I'm going to tell you right now, Baldur's Gate on the go. It's a 60-hour RPG, one of the classics. If you're a gamer, you should play it, and it works on the go.
What's it cost, Kenny?
It costs $10, at least on the on Play Google or Google Play or whatever that is.
Yeah, Google Play, you got it.
There you go. I'm still learning.
Right on. Well, I do have that list ready for you, Cass.
Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got a tweet from Sporkbot. Who tweeted him?
I did.
That's hilarious. You should get him to call in, because he's like all things Assassin's Creed. You could ask him, what does Altair eat for breakfast, and he'll know. He'll know.
That's awesome. Probably it's the same thing I eat for breakfast, since we're both Arabs. Grape leaves and hummus. Oh yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Right on, man. Yeah, I don't speak Arabic very well. I was born in the States, but my parents are both from Syria, so yeah.
Cool. Which is what Altair is, half Syrian, half Turkish, man.
That's dude. It's all Syrian, man. That's how we roll. 2%? No, you're 100. That's how we do it. But yeah. So anyway, I do have some attachment to the character, and I've always wanted to go back and replay the game. I played it on this. This is going to sound bad, but when I was in college and that game came out, the first one. The original Assassin's Creed. You're talking about Assassin's Creed. No, Assassin's Creed. I wanted to play it so badly because Altair, and he was Syrian, and I wanted to really be a part of that, but I couldn't run on my PC very well, so I didn't want to spend the money on it. Poor college kid. So I did get an illegal copy just to see if I could run it, and it ran pretty poorly. and so I wasn't able to play it. But yeah, I have no excuse now because I've got a badass, Core i7 laptop here with 2 video cards in it. I'm pretty sure I can play the game 10 years later, so I'll have to definitely get into that and try it out. But so I have the list for you though, Cass. Here are some of the cosplayers that we've interviewed and featured on our website.
Okay,
A lot of
let's see
them
if
are
I
in
know any of
Portland.
them.
Here we go. All right.
Okay.
Well, Nightmare Vixen, she's one of ours. Victoria Sherry, she's one of our regulars.
Mhm.
Jeslyn, Meepy Gal,
No.
Mazzy May.
No, you don't love these names though.
I know they're amazing. Stephbot. Nothing on Stephbot?
I'm wondering if that's his girlfriend, Sportbot's girlfriend. I'm trying to remember her name.
That would be pretty cool.
He's got a great cosplayer girlfriend. Like she's
Sporkbot,
awesome.
you watching? Comment. Confirm.
Hey, I tweeted a link at him. Sportbot, if you're listening, tweet at us, let us know, and we'll dial you in here.
I feel like we just walked into a seance where we're trying to, summon Sporkbot.
Well, just say his name 3 times, Kenny, and he will appear.
No, I don't want to get I don't know. I don't know what the summoning the ghost of a cosplayer does. I'm not interested in finding out tonight.
So we have a handful more. Let me get through these here. Alexandria the Red, Fiendle,
No. Mm-hmm.
who's really great.
Yeah.
Steven Mesner, who is my favorite.
Nice.
He's awesome. And then Riku Grape.
Sounds
She's
familiar.
also in
That last
Portland.
That last one sounds familiar.
Yeah, she's really good. Just check out our site, geekswithwives.com. There's a link on the right-hand side just for cosplay. Click on that and you get the full list of all the cosplayers of the month that we've featured in the last several months. And a lot more to come, too. It's been pretty popular for us. So before we move on to our final thoughts and wrap up the show here in a little bit, I do want to talk about Bound by Flame, which if you guys recall, when we started the show, I said I was going to hijack the What Are You Playing section so I could be the first to talk about Bound by Flame. And then Cass opened his mouth, and the whole show got derailed. But that's okay, because it's been awesome so far.
We're bringing it home.
That's kind of how I roll, though. I tend to not like to follow structure, and because you know what they say, right? Nothing is true and everything is permitted. So that's kind of how I live my life.
Nice.
It would have been great if you told me that before we went on air. I wouldn't have taken these incredible notes that I have with all the structure for housing.
What are you, a Templar? Come on, buddy.
I'm an Arab.
You're an anal Arab. Okay, buddy. Get back.
So he's a traitor.
Let's get back on track. I'm going to be following your structure.
There we go. Okay, so Bound by Flame. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. I know Kenny has, but Bound by Flame is an RPG that came out last week, and it had a lot of attention on it because the list of AAA hot title next-gen games is very, very short. Mm-hmm. So this came out on PS4 as well as the last-gen consoles, PS3, Xbox, and PC. An RPG that's a mix of Dark Souls in terms of difficulty and setting, and as well as Dragon Age for decision-making and the way that you're brought in different dialogue settings and different interactions, I should say.
Okay.
The game falls short in many ways. The dialogue is terrible. It's a bro fest with the use of horror. It's like the language from the Spartacus show without the elegance.
Okay.
And without the impact, right? I love that show. I love that show.
It's trying too hard to be gruff and manly and brutal.
Yeah, it's a little Gears of War. It's a little bit bizarre. It doesn't fit the setting very well. And furthermore, the decision points, there's no effect. You can ask, let's say there's 4 questions you can ask another character in the game. Mm-hmm. You can ask any of those questions in any order at any time. It doesn't remove certain questions because you may have offended somebody like you would in a Mass Effect game. So that felt like a little bit useless. Over time, I started just skipping it. After several hours of the game, I decided it just wasn't for me. But the primary reason wasn't for those negatives that I listed, but rather because the combat was so precise. You had to be really, really good at the combat that I knew with a crying 2-month-old in the background and my wife needing help from time to time that I was not going to have the time to dedicate to becoming really good at the combat and in order to progress through the game.
Right.
So I will put it this way for those of you listening, if you are a fan of Dark Souls and you love the difficulty and you have the time to dedicate to being good at controls, play this game. You'll like it. And then secondly, if you just like the whole setting of medieval swords and bows and that type of thing, it's worth the shot because there really isn't much else out if you have a next-gen console and that's really all you're playing. But I don't think it's worth $40, $50 on console, $40 on PC. I think you might want to wait for that price to come down maybe around $30 or less, and it might be worth your time. So that's my quick impression of Bound by Flame.
This is the next gen console. Is a PS3 or Xbox One?
It's on PS4. It's supposed
PS4.
to be on Xbox One, but I think something happened
Maybe.
with the release. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Or
but
wait
anyway, it's
for
on
it
PC.
for the wait for the PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, there you see, everyone's saying that. Yeah.
You get it as a free game.
Yeah, it makes a great free game.
You know what's a great free game? What's that spray painting game? Superhero powers. It's like X-Men spray painting. Infamous.
Yeah. Fantastic game.
That's a great game.
It is a great game.
I'm like addicted to that.
Oh man, you on PS3?
PS4.
PS4. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
So
because
you played the
it's
new
free.
Infamous then, Second Son.
Yeah, it's on PS4.
It's
As
amazing.
a free game.
It is?
Yeah.
I may have missed that.
Yeah.
You might be thinking of Infamous 2. That was a free game.
Maybe it's just because of the love that you receive that people just shower you with gifts. But I'm pretty sure us regular folk, we had to pay for it.
I'm being corrected. It's the second game that's a free game.
Okay. Yeah. Who just corrected you? Maybe we should give that person some headphones.
This person, I'm not gonna say her name yet, but she's a massive gamer, professional gamer. She schools me on everything. I just played Assassin's Creed Revelation Mission Showdown at the last Comic-Con I did, and I told her about my gameplay, and I got completely scolded. That's how I play. I was like, she's like, I think what's her gamer tag is? It's either Tsunami or Soul Reaver. That's her gamer tag. Yeah.
Well, all right. So
you could telling me that
could have
Infamous
gotten
is not
schooled
a free
by
game.
a lesser name.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a solid
Trust me,
name.
buddy, you do not want to be caught in a firefight on in Call of Duty with Soul Reaver on your tail. Trust me.
I like
probably wouldn't.
I like that.
You get your butt handed to you.
Right on. Well, hey, let's go around the horn real quick and let's do our final thoughts. So you guys can say anything you want about anything you want. And but before we do that, I love to do this to people, Cass. I get a guest on the show, and I pin them down live on air, and I ask them, Cass, would you want to come back onto our show at some time?
Hell yeah.
All right. You win. Well done. Writing that down in my anal way. Cass says yes to coming back on the show.
I think Joe is offended by my anal Arab comment.
No, I'm not. I'm really not.
I'm just saying that only another brown guy can actually call someone else an anal Arab.
You notice my silence during all these commentaries.
Exactly.
Yeah, you watch
exactly bearded white guy.
Yeah, but you're not actually Arabic, are you?
Not Arabic. I'm mixed. Persian. Well, Lebanese. Persian, Lebanese.
You have some Lebanese in you? No kidding.
Yeah.
We're cousins.
Grandma's from Beirut.
No kidding. We're basically cousins, man.
There you go.
Seriously.
Dude. Joey.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Cass, my boy. I like it. That's fantastic. How great would it have been when he dropped the hamdalek on me if I'd actually responded in Arabic? That would have been amazing, wouldn't it?
I would have had to respond in many of the different paragraphs I had to learn phonetically for my roles.
I got to go back and play this now. I mean, you've really got me excited. But hey, let's go around the horn, do our final thoughts. You guys can say anything you want about anything you want. We're going to start with Kenny. Kenny, kind of show us how to do it. What is your final thought?
Unfortunately, my final thought was going to be switching from Apple to Android in my commentary, but I've already done that because you kind of pulled it out of me earlier. So my final thought's piggybacking your final thought. That's how it's done.
Seriously?
Yeah, you have to go first.
Oh gosh. Okay. So my final thought, because I'm prepared, because I thought about this sometime today, has to be.
I could have stolen your final thought. Do you want me to do that? I'll do it.
Go ahead. I have a backup.
Well, the world will never know unless Joe straight face admits it. But
I'm
so basically,
hoping I'm hoping you guys have more than one final thought in your life, so I'm pretty confident we'll get through this.
we do. We just have to keep a running list throughout the week for when we get called on this show. Um, so big news out of the gaming industry today. So Microsoft has announced that they're going to be releasing sometime in early June. I want to say like June 6th, June 9th, one of those dates. They're going to be releasing their Xbox One Sans Connect for $399. So that's a price drop of about $50, depending on how many different sales and promotions you hit up in the last couple months. And more importantly, it's a change in direction, because at one point in time, Microsoft was saying the Xbox One was built around Kinect. It was built around many different things that have now gone away. By the way, DRM, Kinect, and so this is big news. I think that it'll help the sales of Xbox One, but I don't think it'll help them as much as it could, or as much as they think it will. And that is primarily, again, we've talked about this on the show. Cam, I'm deflecting your hatred from Cass back to me. You know, it's just like the Wii U. The Mario Kart 8 bundle that's coming out on May 30th for $329, which includes the game, the wheel, a Mario-themed controller, as well as the best version of the Wii U. I think it's 32 gigabytes. I don't know what it's called directly, but for $329, it's a great deal. And then on top of that, because you bought Mario Kart 8, you get another free AAA title from Nintendo. What a fantastic deal! The problem
There was a
is,
huge Mario Kart display on at WonderCon a couple of weeks ago.
was it fantastic?
Oh my God! It was there was like a huge display, and there was probably about 65 hot Mario Kart girls there presenting it, and these massive screens, and the game looked amazing. So
it does look amazing, and it makes me want
the game or the model. You know, it was the game. It was the game that looked good.
It was the game, not the models. But the thing about it is, for $329, it's an investment. For anything over, in my non-profit life right now, anything over $150 is an investment. So I'm looking at the future, and when I look at the future, it looks bleak. I don't know of very many things that are going to be releasing for the Xbox One that are sure bets right now, and I don't know very many things that are going to release for the Wii U that are sure bets right now. I mean, sure, we're going to see a Halo on Xbox One. Microsoft is nowhere near abandoning their console. I think Nintendo is pretty close. So I think that in essence, what we need to sell games is stop carving pieces off of the systems that we're making, and rather just support the systems that we put out. I mean, in my opinion, I think Sony's doing that, which is why they're ahead of the game right now.
I think they should invent the X Station.
You know, a device that sends your texts and calls people and plays your movies and your Ataris.
I don't know.
And
you saw the
comic.
mess. You saw the mess in front of my television set. So, as far as I'm concerned, we need an X Station.
Not a play box, which sounds better.
Or Playbox.
Okay.
See, that's the Syrians, man. They're always thinking, these guys.
Hey, come on.
Always thinking, businessmen. The Playbox.
The play box. You gotta sell it. Yes, it gotta be sexy. Come on, you're part Lebanese. You're a pretty boy, Lebanese boy, right? You gotta dress it up, make it look good. Yeah. You wouldn't get that.
And then we're gonna have to put a lot of gold bling on it then.
Exactly. And you drive a Beamer, right?
Yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I drive a Mercedes because I'm a Syrian, so I can't drive a Beamer.
Exactly.
So yeah, we got to talk. I've got some funny stories.
And I'm Germanic, so I drive a Taurus.
Germanic. Who's Germanic anymore? No one's Germanic.
Well, I'm more of a Templar than either of you, I guess. So there it is.
It's like got vaccinated out of us.
I'm a white guy with family roots in Europe, and I'm Catholic. I mean, that makes me a Templar, doesn't it?
Yeah, you are more of a Templar. But
now
I
that
want
you
to
say that.
Hold on. Let me look behind me really quickly. Okay, I'm glad you guys are still on the West Coast.
Okay, I gotta go get my hidden blade.
Oh, that's good stuff. Okay, so Cass, you're going to go last on the final thoughts because I think it's good to see a couple of examples. Kenny, good final thought. I agree with you. I've got 3 concerns about the Kinect, and then I'll give you my final thought. Well, not necessarily the Kinect, but this decision to remove the Kinect from the Xbox One. My number 1 concern is for developers. There have got to be a lot of developers that are indie that thought, I'm going to use this Kinect as a way to express my thoughts into a game in ways that I can't anywhere else. That's a big loss for motion gaming. In addition to that, there are developers that may not be indie. They've got some money, they've got some backing. They're working on games where the Kinect it's going to be better with Kinect, right? It requires Kinect, and now there's going to be Xboxes out there without Kinect. So their marketplace has just shrunk, and I don't like that. My second concern is with the image this presents, a reflex of Microsoft. Like you said, hey, this is Kinect. That's the way to go. This is why performance isn't. They didn't say this, but you can assume that some of the processing is being dedicated towards the Kinect. Thus, the performance of the games aren't as strong. But there's a benefit here. It's always listening and it's doing all these great things. And you can walk into the house and say, Kinect, turn on, and your Kinect turns on. I think it's bad for Microsoft's image that they're backing away from that and becoming just like the PlayStation. And my third concern is, what's even the point of doing it? Because if the price is now mirroring the PlayStation, all it's saying is, now you can get the same console basically for the same price, but hey, all your friends have PlayStation 4s because it has a 2-to-1 advantage right now. I think what they need to do is drop the price further. They go $349 and undercut the PlayStation by $50. That will go a very long way. Those are my three concerns with the decision. See, I was organized, Kenny.
Very impressive.
Oh, you were so organized.
Thank you.
You know
and you
that
stole my
people are
final
gonna.
point.
You know people are they're gonna crucify you on Twitter because for a while there, weren't you a proponent of dropping Kinect, or were you not?
Oh, I thought it was a terrible idea to include it. But once you make the decision to go with it, that you got to stick to it, in my opinion.
Okay, so my point is there are going to be people that are going to say, and maybe I'm softballing this for them, you know, Joe, you said that they needed to drop Kinect originally, and now they dropped Kinect, and now you're saying you need to drop I mean, what are they supposed to just give the console out?
No, but $50 less. See, the problem is, Kenny, they were too expensive. It had nothing to do with Kinect. No one saw the value in Kinect because it didn't really exist before. No one really had to have it before. They don't see the purpose of it. And PlayStation had a really clear focus on indie titles and on games. And people that buy these consoles are primarily gamers, especially in the first run, right, the early adopters. Now you've dropped the Kinect, and now you're just an also-ran. It makes no difference, especially being at a parity price. They need to drop the price further in order to have an advantage and say, no, look, we believe in this product. We're going to help you get it. We're going to drop the price further. Go out and get it. Play these games. They're fantastic. And then you introduce the Kinect as an additional accessory and give people that, you know, give them a compelling reason in 2 years to prolong the life of their console by buying this new upgrade, right, this Kinect upgrade, kind of like they did with the 360.
I'm just curious to see if they even drop the console $50 more, if that would really even do very much for them. At the end of the day, huh?
It would do a lot.
Well, I mean, you know, it's $50 less, but at the end of the day, as a gamer, and let's say I'm out of the know. Let's say I'm just a gamer that visits IGN twice a week, and I'm sitting here and I'm saying, man, there's that Kinectless Xbox for $350, but then there's the PlayStation 4 for $400, and man, they really have a clear and concise message that they're for gamers, because Microsoft still hasn't come out, or Xbox rather, still hasn't come out and said, you know, anything more than, well, yeah, we're for gamers too. You know, they haven't had that mentality is lost on the average gamer. And so I think it's still the momentum is still it's switched over to Sony still. So I don't know what's going to help them. I feel like games are going to help them, and also, you know, a marketing strategy that doesn't involve you know, upper management saying we can't just flip a switch and have DRM disappear, and then they flip a switch and DRM disappears. I think they're out of touch with the gamer, and I think that they need to get back in touch with them. So
yeah, I think you're right. But at the end of the day, Kenny, with the holiday season coming around the corner, we're not far away. When mom and dad are shopping to buy Jimmy his console and they see that the Xbox One is $50 less and there are more games on the shelf that they could buy, that they could choose from than the PlayStation, that's going to go a long way. There you go. All right, my final thought. So, Cass, earlier you mentioned that you played Diablo on PC. Maybe Diablo 2 is really the last game you got into on PC except for Warcraft. The guy that was the lead developer, really the person who created Diablo, known for it, recognized for it, is David Brevik. He's been on our show a couple of times. He's a friend of our show, and he is going to be back on June 3rd on our show to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Marvel Heroes. It's an action RPG MMO on PC, just like Diablo, but more modernized. Incredible MMO features, really, really big on community play, and we're going to help them celebrate the 1-year anniversary by not only having David on the show, but we're going to give away a ton of codes for free heroes, free hero packs. fortune cards, all kinds of great stuff we're going to be
And this
giving
is
away.
online already? Marvel Heroes is already happening?
That's right. It's been out for 11 months. Next month will be the 1-year anniversary.
How do
And
I
it's,
not know this?
oh, it's fantastic, Cass. You have to play it. I've played over
It's all
300
online?
hours.
It,
Yeah.
if you like Diablo and you're a comics guy, you totally need to check this out. It
So
might
it's
be
all
the
it's
game
like
you play for the next year.
adventures online, going on these adventures, and it's like Diablo style gameplay.
Exactly. So it's top-down isometric display, right? And you have
And
your.
you got your powers and your superheroes and.
You can play as Wolverine, my friend.
Are you saying what?
You play a Wolverine, and you know what? He's pretty OP. I gotta state. So Grant, who's a regular on our show, he's our head of community outreach. He's a huge Wolverine fan,
By the
like
way,
you.
He's Canadian, just so we're clear.
That's right. You were born in Canada.
Oui, oui, mon ami.
I read your profile. I stalked you before the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, you'd love that. You'd love the game. Give it a shot.
Okay,
And,
Marvel
yeah,
Heroes. Awesome.
Marvel Heroes. It's fantastic.
So I want some of
yeah.
these free codes, and I want to play Wolverine, and I want to kick some butt.
I'll tell you what. I will message David, and I'll tell him that Cass Anvar wants to play Marvel Heroes. He's a huge Wolverine fan.
I want to play on a team with him.
He played. Well, he played 2 months ago with the community publicly, right? I'm sure he does play occasionally without announcing it.
And
But I can give you his gamer
I want
tag.
him to play like Cyclops, or no, he can play Colossus,
There's a Colossus.
and he can fastball special me.
You know about fastball special, dude. You are the man. Fastball special is a power
Boom.
for Colossus in this game.
Boom, boom, boom. Is it really?
It is. Yep.
It better be.
Yep. It is, and he has another
Days of Future
power.
Past. Days of Future Past. Best 4-story arc ever.
Ever. Wow.
Ever. Best 4-story arc ever. Better than Apocalypse. Better than all the others. Days of Future Past. What are they're making a movie of it, man?
You're making a movie. That's true, and it has Patrick Stewart, so it's legit.
It is legit. Anyone British, it makes it legit.
They have 2 of those British guys with the
I
Ian
know.
McKellen.
I
Yeah.
know. It's amazing.
All right, Cass.
Just put
Now
these people-
you've seen Kenny do it. You've seen me do it. Now you tell everybody what is your final thought.
Gosh. Well, they're going to be making an Assassin's Creed movie. Michael Fassbender is producing that. I think he's playing Desmond. Hoping to get in on that one.
Okay, what's it gonna
Yeah.
take? How does that work?
I think if there's a massive gamer fan uproar saying, put Altair in as Altair,
Yeah.
then I mean, come on, they're not idiots. They'll listen. Look, like I said, gaming, the money that the disposable income that gamers have to spend is eclipsing film. So they'll listen.
It would make such a great movie too. You know, I will personally lead the charge on Altair to play Altair in this movie with Michael Fassbender. And I don't know Michael Fassbender, but by the end of this campaign,
do.
he's gonna know me.
Michael Fassbender is a young Magneto, or is a young Xavier.
Well, I mean, I don't know him personally.
Oh, you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've seen Prometheus. I've seen the
That's
X-Men.
right. Okay,
Yeah.
so you know the actor.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, he's fantastic in 12 Years a Slave.
Also,
Great
I
actor.
want to tell all of your listeners who are in California that I'm doing an amazing, unique, kind of world groundbreaking Comic-Con in Sacramento. The con is called SAC Anime 2014. It's at the end of August. It's actually, I posted it on my website at catsanvar.com. You can find the exact details. And the reason it's so phenomenal is they have made this an Assassin's Creed con. They have invited, for the first time ever, in one location, myself, Altair, Ezio, Connor, the guy who's a good friend of mine from Montreal, who plays Charles Lee in AC3, that's Neil Napier, as well as the actress that plays Laura Croft, which is not an Assassin's Creed thing, and the actress who plays Connor's mom, and they're just now talking with the actress who plays the first female assassin, Evelyn de Grandpré. As you notice, I say that with a good French accent.
Very well done.
Evelyn de Grandpré. So you will have literally 4 assassins in one room, signing autographs, doing panels, Never before, and just Ezio and myself have never been in the same con before. Roger Craig Smith. He was great actor, by the way. His Ezio, I have to say, his Ezio voice, man, kills.
And probably the only time that you'll be safe in a room with all of the assassins.
Yeah. Well, except those of you with Germanic background.
I will not be there.
But for those people who want to come to an amazing con, this thing's going to be awesome. It's going to be kind of AC3 focused, but obviously they're expanding it beyond AC3, and obviously they have all their other stuff as well. But AC3 is getting a big PR boost there, and they've got some great guests there, and any Assassin's Creed fans or gamer fans are going to have a huge blast at this. Other than that, I've got a great project coming out called The Vatican Tapes, which is a horror thriller in the spirit of The Exorcist with Michael Pena and Dougray Scott, and that's coming out in August, and I'm pretty excited about that. And other than that, I just want world peace and harmony in the world.
That's awesome. That's awesome. No one's ever said that on the show before, so we're all a bunch of terrible people, except for you.
No offense.
Yeah.
No offense.
None taken. None taken. Well, hey, everybody, that does it for episode 136 of the Geeks with Wise podcast. A huge thanks to our guest, Cass Anvar. A small thanks to Kenny because he's on all the time. But, Cass, really was a pleasure to have you on the show.
It was mine as well. And I will say one thing for those Assassin's Creed fans. That being that I played Altair, I was kind of influenced by what he says. And I do believe a lot in the power, the impact of the creed. I don't know if everyone knows that, but it's nothing is true. Everything is permitted. We work in darkness to serve the light. Shed not the blood of the innocent. And I urge everyone to follow the creed. And that is what I say. And then I give you one of these. Boom.
Nice. Bring that into the camera a little more.
There you go.
Have you been wearing that the whole time and hiding it from us? 'Cause that's amazing.
I just put it on. Well, if I can't,
okay.
I can't show you. I'd have to kill you.
Assassin doesn't share his secrets, right? You were wearing it the whole time.
Exactly.
It's an Arab thing. That is awesome. That is really awesome.
That's the blade I wear at the cons. It was made for me by an amazing leatherworking fan of mine. Her name is Ruby Roxanne. She has Ruby Roxanne Design on Twitter. It's all ancient, kind of aged, thick leather and beautifully painted. And then I've got obviously the working. It's hard to really show it on here, but it's a working hidden blade, so pops out. You know, what a cool sound.
Do you usually take that out to clubs at night?
Yeah, it gets me a lot of dates. I don't know. I wouldn't have thought it, but girls like blades. I don't know.
That is awesome. That is way too cool.
Just assassinate your computer to end the podcast.
That is awesome.
Those are my final
thoughts. Logged out of the enemy.
That's your final thought. Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. So you can catch us at geekswithwives.com or follow us on Twitter at geekswithwives. I'm at Joe Barhoom. Kenny is at Ken Newville. Cass is
at Cass Anvar.
Look how he just picks it up. I love it. That's fantastic. We will see everybody next week for episode 137. Thanks a lot and have a great night.
It's my pleasure.